Hello and welcome to the Society 5.0 for IR Global Digital Transformation Day, part of the Digital Week Online that has been going on all this week and that has been going through a fantastic audience worldwide, reaching already over 20 days. Today is a fantastic day with a lot of people that I deeply respect, a lot of governments, a lot of companies, and a lot of experts in what is making our world a better place, but as well, a lot of challenges and dealing with the challenges and things we are facing. I'm going to present the day and how we're going to be having in this day. I think it's important in context. And just about myself, my name is Dinis Guarda. I'll be the host and the creator for this day. And we have as well a fantastic program that includes a huge amount of personalities and experts and industry leaders that are looking at how the world can deal with all the areas of digital transformation, as well the fourth industrial revolution and the concept of Society 5.0, which I think is interesting to contextualize in my preamble for this day. So I'll start with a small introduction. So this day and this presentation today is going to be under the Digital Week Online and as well a venture partnership with citiesabc.com and openbusinesscouncil.org. That is the organizations that I'm leading with a team of people around the world. So why a day about Society 5.0 and fourth industrial revolution and the global digital transformation? We are amid COVID-19 challenges, and these areas are definitely the most important areas for actually the next development of humanity, let's put it that way, and with a big statement. So Society 5.0 is a concept quite new that is still being developed, but it's been first presented by the Japanese government under the former Prime Minister Abe, and is a concept that wants to look at a more balanced society where human nature and technology can actually balance itself and actually can use the strengths and the power of technology to create better solutions for our society, for our cities, and using all the emergent technologies to find better balance between our organic selves and our digital selves, but as well managing and as well trying to look at the challenge that we're facing when it comes to a lot of disruption and dystopian things, and as well all the things around fake news and disinformation that is as well creating a lot of challenges for all of us. Fourth industrial revolution is another concept that is key to understand all the emergent technology that we're facing. And of course, digital transformation is key. I think especially with COVID-19, we've been having a challenge and an opportunity. The challenge is definitely that the world economy has been facing the biggest challenge in the last 200 years. And as well, we have most of the world population right now with social distancing and going through a lot of challenge related with healthcare and as well the pandemic that is going on. But this as well accelerated a lot of opportunities for us to find better ways to connect and manage the different things that we are facing. So this day is precisely a day that highlights these areas and tries to find a better balance how all of us citizens and professionals and business people and as well just normal people in our day-to-day lives can actually cope better with all these things. Can work us and not against us. And especially I think governments are key to lead this Society 5.0 and fourth industrial revolution, that it cannot just leave this to private business corporations, but all of us have to be part of this. And that's what we're trying to discuss in this day, create a better discussion. And of course, discussion is key for this, that can actually help us understand and as well tackle all the challenges around this. So I'm going to highlight what we're going to be talking today. So we have a very demanding list of panels and keynotes and presentations. And I'm going to be highlighting the different keynotes and the personalities that you're going to have. So in around the 25 minutes, we have a panel that is about digital transformation, society 5.0 for AR, how to make it happen for cities and countries, where we have video communications on. We have as well Syed Junaid Iman, member of IT Minister, and as well responsible for and CEO for the Ignite National Technology Fund of Pakistan, representing the minister that could not make it, but as well the person responsible for digital transformation for the country. Then we have His Excellency Alexander Bornikov, the Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation for IT Development and Ukraine, and I'm looking forward as well to listen. And of course, last but not least, Dr. Edwin Diender, Vice President of Digital Transformation for Huawei, but as well thought leader on his own, and as well one of the leading personalities in digital transformation that is going to be looking at these topics. Then at 10:30 GMT time, very important, we are in GMT time, this program, we have the panel, How to Reinvent Cities and Nations in a Time of COVID-19, which I think is a very powerful topic for our days. We're going to have Dr. Raiz Hussain, that is the chairman of Malaysia Digital Economic Corporation, Micah Walker, CEO of Grava, Dr. Kiran Fernandez, Associate Dean of Durham University, UK, and as well the chair for UK for UNESCO. Then we have Antonio Santos, that is a global thought leader and ambassador that has been working particularly with Atos and Siemens, and the moderator, Sebastian Ginalski, that is as well a personality in finance and fintech, and as well director of openbusinesscouncil.org. Then at 11:30 GMT time, we have the panel Governments and Business Digital Transformations, Challenge and Opportunities. And this panel as well includes the personalities Tina Jabin, the CEO and Managing Director of Startup Bangladesh, Jane Chan, that is the head of Startup Me UK, Hong Kong and Invest Hong Kong. And then Renata Ramalhosa, Director of Beta I Brazil, and as well a personality in the areas of digital transformation with governments. And Dr. Ricardo Greenfield, Managing Director of EURA AG PT, that is as well an expert in these areas of digital transformation and government policies. And the moderator will be Azad Sultan, that is a strategist and the CEO of Deutsche Malaysian Ventures that has been working with the government of Malaysia under the initiative Malaysia 5.0. Then we have a break, and at 1:30 GMT, we have the panel Startup Cities or Smart Cities and Trends, Opportunities and Challenges with Jaiwan Petershan, that is the president of the World Smart Cities Forum, William Hu, the CEO of One4City and as well a vice president of Cisco, João Bocas, CEO at Digital Salutem and as well an expert in wearables and healthcare, and the moderator would be Dr. President of the UK National Innovation. At 14:30 GMT, we have the panel Big Data and Cybersecurity for Nations and Business, a very important topic that we're going to have as well the global thought leaders, Ellen Yu, author, global influencer in technology, Dr. Joans Drew Gar, speaker, author, and coach, and as well a global influencer on these areas, Chuck Brooks, adjunct of Georgetown University, and as well a Forbes writer and then actually an expert in these areas, Nitin Kaulura, big data strategist, country manager for Alchemy Group, and Fernando Martinho, that is as well CEO of a leading cybersecurity company. The moderator will be Agya Shiv, that is a member board of Tech ABC and CEO of Sikra. Then at 3:45, we have mostly live presentations in from the perspective of AI and blockchain, where we have Ben Gortzel, a doctor and as well one of the leading authorities in AI and Singularity, as well the founder of SingularityNet and OpenAI, and as well one of the founders of Sophia the Robot. Then we have Maya Zuckerman, author, researcher, and COO of Lumen, and as well been working with the World Economic Forum, and Shamir Taha, author and global chief strategy officer, and as well CEO of Kubits Middle East. The moderator will be me on this one, and they will be mostly highlighting these three personalities on these areas. They've been working in case studies from NASA and other areas. Then last but not least, we have from 4AR to Society 5.0, the challenge of sustainability, fintech, data, regulations, and ESG, environment sustainable goals. So we have Dr. Effie Pilarou, an author, influencer in fintech and finance at large. Christophe de Spielgler, founder of Threefold, and as well a personality in digital transformation and blockchain and technology. And Irinda Misra, CEO and founder of GMX Group. And the moderator will be Hilton Supra, vice chairman of the group Studium and Tech ABC. So we are with a great day. You can actually look at our Twitter and Week Online. The hashtag we're using is Digital Week Online, and you can actually interact with all our social media. We are being streamed as we speak in 2 channels, on YouTube, on the Digital Week Online YouTube channel, and on my personal Dinis Guarda Cities ABC channel. And as well, we are present in Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and different multiple channels. So as a bit of context about these topics, I want to highlight specifically the importance of narratives, and as well our challenges when it comes to technology. So most of the global thought leaders, including former CEO of Google to all the personalities in the world leading with technology, from as well Yuval Noah Harari, are talking about the opportunities that we have in terms of technology. And technology and digital transformation, in the end of the day, is all about tools and narratives and stories that we make. And these tools, narratives, and stories make humanity going. The best ones build Utopia, and of course, the Magna Carta of Hope. And if you look at Magna Carta 800 years ago, was a pact between the different members of society that create an open consensus. And of course, if this is not about the utopia, we can go to dystopian narratives. And of course, that is partly a lot of the challenge that we're facing today, that we have a huge challenge when it comes to the narratives around technology are very dystopian. So especially as we get into the stage of artificial intelligence as a new evolutionary dawn that is writing the human machine code and narratives, we have to look at the best way to focus on the narrative, and as well to use these technologies to create a human-centric, humanistic approach that looks at a balance with nature, technology, and our society. And of course, COVID-19 has been highlighting all these challenges in the sense of how to deal with the challenge we're facing, but as well how to look at things that we're not planning before. So I think we have to find the balance with all these tools that we have, that most of them are fantastic, but can be used for a lot of negative things. But of course, it's all about the way we use it. We know that nature has always the last power, and COVID-19 is showing us that. But we need to find a way to transform and cleansing ourselves, and as well find a better narrative. And that's, I think, hopefully something that we're going to take from this day, where we want to highlight and as well to find a better balance and more focus on this. So in terms of looking at the concept of society, Society 5.0 looks at the idea of a super smart society that has a look at consciousness and focus as well on the balance between the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the concept of circular economic society or circular economy, and as well using data to empower our cities and our nations, and looking at our versions of ourselves, but as well our digital twins. What is a digital twin? A digital twin is my digital data, my digital profile. So you need to find a balance for this digital profile that is about identity, about profiles for government, about profiles for voting, about profiles for different areas, to make sure that this is used for saving our energies, our focus, and as well creating better capacity and better solutions for our problems that we're facing. Of course, we have a lot of challenge nowadays, but if you just look for 1820, so around 200 years ago, 90% of the world population was living under extreme poverty. We are right now 200 years afterwards. And even with all the challenges, we have around 11% of the population of the world that is living in extreme poverty. So you're reversing from 80% poverty to 10%, 11% of extreme poverty. Of course, this is a massive success, but of course, the perception is very negative that we have. And the perception, of course, we have a big imbalance in terms of wealth distribution and as well technology access. But at the same time, if you look at all the evolution of society, in the last 200 years, we made more challenges and more leapfrog than during all the evolution of humanity. So I think the concept of Society 5.0 is precisely a concept that I really admire because it brings hope, and it brings as well a narrative of contextualizing digital transformation at the center of a smart society that uses technology to serve it, and as well to improve and to create a sustainable society that can actually balance. A very interesting thing and very important topic as well is that when it comes to these topics, is that the very important thing that we need to contextualize is that at the moment we have 1 billion people in the planet that have disabilities. We have around 2 to 3 billion people that are getting aged. So that means 50% of the world population is becoming aging population. So we have a lot of challenges in the next 10 to 20 years in parallel with technology, with the evolution of technology that will be touching a new singularity between human and machines, and as well, all these different technologies, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, blockchain technologies, Internet of Things, and a lot of different things from robotic to automation and fintech. So I believe these technologies can and should be used for good, and governments have a responsibility to take over this, and as well to look at the narrative, because in the end of the day, a lot of things that we have can be used to improve our countries. And I think just if you look that most of the world population lives with less than $300 to $400 per month, that means we can actually leapfrog most of the poverty issues and actually integration if we use some kind of wisdom and as well using these tools for the right way. From a business perspective, the business that are not digital will disappear. And for instance, this is still a big alarming subject. If you look at the different areas of digital society, challenges and emerging technologies, but we have a big challenge. And the big challenge is that 80 to 90% of the world business are not digital. So that means we have a paradox that we are using phones, all of us in the world with smart technology, with devices that have all these capacities, but most of our populations and most of our business are still non-digital. And this is not numbers by me. We're talking about 80 to 90% of the world business SMEs don't even have a website. So this is a big, big challenge, but a big opportunity as well. It's a big opportunity to create new business models, to create new narratives, and to find balance on this. And this is what we aim, and we've been working creating citiesabc.com, and as well openbusinesscouncil.org, and as well with this event, Digital Week Online. So we want to gather industry experts to think and look at the best way to manage these challenges, and they use it on our side and according to our needs. So cities and nations are the top level strategy to cope with coronavirus right now. And this has to be a work between governments, business and economic institutions, financial institutions, education, and all of us. And we believe that we can actually create a new empowerment model that can create a smart Keynesian, especially a concept by Alan Mayo, that can look at an approach for the economy with the circular economy base, where actually we can have a short, medium, long-term focus using data to look at the challenge we're facing and improving all the things we're doing right now. Then, of course, we need to look at the balance between environment, infrastructure, mobility, and the quality of living, education, government and leadership, and the business industry, economic investment, and financial strategies. This is critical because we need to make sure that all these areas are working together. And we have a lot of good research by the universities, leading academics with panel today, but we need to measure policies, the education and as well the business and the governments work together. We cannot have a society where we're all fighting each other, because of course that will create just more issues. And of course we have our divergences, but we have a lot of things that unite us. So this is where we need to work together to balance this. And of course smart cities are critical to use these technologies that we're talking today, but as well to be smart in the way we approach society. Then of course we are looking at a lot of challenges that we're facing, especially with AI, cybersecurity, and blockchain. That is automation, fake news, cybersecurity, bias, ethics, privacy, psychology, and as well biomanipulation. These are the biggest challenges that we're facing as humanity, but this is as well the biggest opportunities we have. So we can actually reverse engineer to prolong and extend life. We can actually, like we tackle most of the poverty in the world, I'm talking about extreme as well, tackle a lot of the issues of healthcare. But COVID-19 has been showing us that the fact that we don't have leadership together, we have a lot of challenges and a huge pandemic. But at the same time, it's showing us that even with all these challenges, we still have the economy moving, and most of the basic standards are still operating, and we are all connecting each other through digital devices, through internet, through communications. And in this conference, we have people from over 100 countries talking with each other through different tools and streaming platforms. So we believe that all the challenge we're facing right now, that we can actually create a risk model matrix for a post-COVID-19 coronavirus world. And this matrix should be focused on the balance between cities, governments, and companies. They need to look at the strategy and solutions to tackle social and political tensions, and as well creating better solutions for our society. In the end of the day, we all as business and citizens want the best for our children, for our families. So we can actually look at this in a way of creating new business models, improve the ones that we have, and look at the challenge that we have. And I think especially look at the growth strategy matrix, the risk management, and how to look at an ecosystem that can actually build all these different areas. So this is key, and this is something that we are very passionate about, but there's a lot of work to be done, and we believe that we all can actually make this happen. And of course, a very important thing that is key on the center of all of this is redesign the supply chain worldwide and focus on a way of looking at ethical and consciousness in terms of the business, the way we proceed. And I think this might look at the supply chain, the environmental damage, the human rights abuse, and the animals abuse, and looking at how can we look at all these digital tools that we have right now fragmented and make them work on a global scale. It's a better narrative, better solutions that can actually create a lot of new jobs, that can tackle a lot of the issues with automation, and as well take a lot of countries from extreme poverty to become leading countries and leading powerhouses, especially the young population we have in the world, where a lot of countries with population of 20, 30 years old that are the future, that we need to create better capacity for them to think in a more utopian and a more focused society balance. And I think this is what I would like to take away from this day. So create utopia and tackle the issues with dystopia. And of course, this is about the narratives. It's about the actions and especially the core values that we put in our technology, the way we code this and the way we create business that is sound and that is useful for everyone. So we're going to start in a couple minutes. We'll be doing a small break right now, some minutes to prepare. So with the first panel, I welcome you all to follow us in different platforms. So I mentioned YouTube channels, but as well the community that is part from the so thank you so much for a great day. All the speakers, all the moderators, and all the people participating, and of course the organization of Digital Week Online that put together